Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, fellow speakers. Good morning, our noble guests all over Europe. First of all, we welcome Mr. Peter Dröll, Director for Prosperity, Directorate-General Research and Innovation at European Commission, who is present with us online.
And we also want to welcome Professor Daria Gołębiowska Tataj, Chair of Supervisory Board of EIT Culture and Creativity, World Economic Forum Digital Leader.
Together with us, there will be Maciej Kawecki, Digital EU Ambassador.
And of course, we want to welcome Andrzej Dybczyński, President of the Łukasiewicz Research Network.
Welcome representatives of ministries, public institutions, best universities, authorities, research institutes, and business companies.
We also welcome our partners from National Center of Research and Development, National Contact Points.
He's a strategic partner.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And special thanks to all representatives of 12 European partnerships that are together with us here in Warsaw in Non-Orblin. Yep. Here you've got all the names of those partnerships, and we are really happy to have you here.
Yep. And also we all want to welcome our media partners present in this event.
Yeah, who supports us on all the communication ways.
Yep.
It's an honor to welcome you on the second matchmaking event, Horizon4Poland, organized by Industry Contact Points, powered by Łukasiewicz Research Network.
And first, I want to introduce you Ms. Dominika Bagińska-Chyłek, which is coordinator of industry contact points from Łukasiewicz Orgmash.
Hello.
Hello, and co-host.
Yeah, thank you. And together with me is Adam Dawidziuk, he's Director of Research and Innovation Department in Łukasiewicz Center. We have a great pleasure to host you together in Norblin Factory. We will be together during this event.
Thank you all for attending our event. We know that the weather is not pleasant outside, so we didn't know how to introduce ourselves. Good morning, good evening. The weather is awful. So once again, we are thankful for you for attending our meeting.
Yes. Actually, last year we had around 30 participants. This year we decided to give more space and time for our keynotes, for our guests, to have better and much more opportunities for business contact, matchmaking, sharing ideas and experiences together in order to better use this opportunity which is given by the Horizon Europe program.
And we are more than happy to see you all here. There is a lot of you, and this is the point that make us sure that it's the high time for the Polish business and science to succeed in Horizon Europe. Yeah.
As the number of our registered guests exceeded the number of 600, we decided also to have a streaming online of our first opening sessions. That's why we are happy to welcome our online guests as well.
Now, more than ever, we are ready to make a change. Not only on a local or European scale, but having in mind the present challenges, we should think much wider and in broader terms. So that's why there is our new motto, lead part.
If we may please, yes, here you are.
Yeah. So as you can see, there is
Yes.
many activities you can enjoy this
After
evening.
this opening session, you will have 7 breakout sessions in parallel that will be conducted in Kinogram, the cinema hall just
right.
on the right when you go out from this.
Yeah. And
art
why
house.
the 7? Why the 7 sessions? Because there are 7 industry contact points, and we started with the industry, sustainable economy, clean and smart mobility, health, digital transformation, low emission technologies, and of course, coordinator of all or much. So, yeah.
Thank you. So now let's give the floor to our first keynote, who will officially open this event, and president of the Łukasiewicz Research Network.
You have said everything I was prepared to say. I'm not sure if I should be disappointed or happy. But hopefully that will make my speech much, much shorter. Welcome you all. It's my pleasure and a privilege to open this conference, Horizon4Poland 23, as Dominika said, the second event organized by Łukasiewicz Research Network and industry contact points. Why we are here? My communication team prepared for me, for this opening speech, a couple of optimistic, impressive information, and they were probably pretty aware that I will not share or I will comment in a bitter way this optimistic information. What are these positive messages? Well, definitely our performance in terms of attracting EU grants improves. And by our importance, I mean both importance of Poland as the country and performance of Łukasiewicz Research Network. Couple of numbers. Well, we are coordinators of, if I remember well, 94 European projects, which is the best proof of our competence, skills, and experience. We doubled and are close to triple the budget, and I mean Łukasiewicz right now. We double and we are close to triple the budget we attract from EU funds. Most importantly, our success rate in applying for the projects increased from 20 to 30%. All these numbers are pretty nice, especially if you are not a manager and you don't ask about the baselines. If you don't ask the baselines, you will be impressed. Well, this is just me, that I always prefer to see the glass half empty than half full. And those who work with me directly, they quite often complain about that. The first messages were about the glass half full. But what is this picture of the glass being half empty? 411 million euros attracted by Polish beneficiaries from EU funds, which makes 1.68% of the total EU funds allocated to research and innovation. Do not make the mistake, 1.65%, less than 2%. This is our performance. Whether we like it or not, this is the number. €411 million divided by, if I remember well, 464 beneficiaries. That makes less than €1 million per one beneficiary. What is €1 million? €1 million is on average quite small National Science Center grant for basic research. And here is the tough question. This is where we want to be? This is where we want to be. We want to attract from the EU grants, EU funds, the money that is equal to the grants we attract from National Science Center. This is what is the game about. And this is, sorry if the speech is not very, very nice, and this is our glass half empty. And this is what we must change. This is what we need to change. How to do this? Well, we all know these talks about why we are not as efficient as we would like to be in applying for EU funds, in attracting EU funds. All these arguments, all these sometimes excuses, all these analyses. If you want to be better, we must provide better proposals. Our applications must be much, much better. Łukasiewicz, as the research network, knows how to attract the money. Many colleagues in this room don't know two simple numbers. Total budget of Łukasiewicz Research Network is 1.6 billion złotych a year, which equals roughly to 400 million euros. How much of this money Łukasiewicz receives from the government? 20%. 20% of Łukasiewicz yearly budget comes from the government. Another 80% we win on the market. We win providing the value for the industry, attracting grants and so on the country level. That means that Łukasiewicz knows how to win the money in a competition. What we all need to do is to change this model and to be as competitive on the European level. How to do this? Only by partnership. And not by partnership because this is a nice slogan here behind me. Through partnerships, we will be able to combine different skills, different experience, different infrastructure, different models and ideas, which all together will make our proposals, our applications, much more competitive on the European level. And this is why we have this conference. This is why this is matchmaking. Because matchmaking, skills, competences, experience, and infrastructure, we can really improve the value of our proposals, and we can change the numbers, which for me make our glass half empty. I have a special message to all Łukasiewicz colleagues here. Your job is to build partnerships. Your job is to build teams. You will have a lot of meetings. We planned for these 2 days 7 thematic sessions, 15 roundtables, over 100 matchmaking meetings. You go to your rooms and remember one thing. Remember one thing I learned years ago. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. You are in the wrong room. And this is the job for all Łukasiewicz colleagues here. Make our glass full. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Dybczyński, for the insightful talk. That's why we're doing this event, to talk, to search for the partners. So once again, thank you very much for the talk. And now I want to invite another guest. So let me give the floor for the Dominika Bagińska-Chyłek, the coordinator of the industry contact points. She will tell us a little bit about the navigating innovation with the bottom-up approach.
Yeah.
Mika?
Well, now I'm a bit changing my role. As a coordinator of industry contact points powered by Łukasiewicz Research Network, I would like to introduce you our approach towards our role in industry contact points. As we used to say, may we live in interesting times, goes the old Chinese curse. We've been experiencing an era of perma-crisis, poly-crisis, with conjunction of increasing climate change effects and environmental challenges. COVID-19 pandemic, aggression of Russia against Ukraine, those conflicts, new ones, the escalation of the existing ones, and financial crises, they are the examples of the challenges we might face in the future. Finally, the unprecedented scale of transitions creates valuable challenges that affect social and financial aspects of sustainability. If I may ask for the next slide, I would like to recommend you the 2023 Strategic Foresight Report prepared for the European Commission. When you have all those processes explained how they are interlinked, interconnected, the combined effects need to be taken into account in order to enable viable pathways towards sustainability. The EU is at a key juncture which requires common pressure from policymakers, from businesses, to ensure a leading position in the global race to net zero industry. Sustainability will represent a major source of EU long-term competitive advantage, increasing its market of products, services, and technologies, and attracting global investments in talents and financial sources. The EU has already dedicated substantial efforts to support several green technologies, from hydrogen, additive manufacturing, advanced materials, to water cycle and sustainability by design. Still, as global competition intensifies, increasing support for research and development is a key to bolstering the EU open strategy autonomy. And that's why we are here. Just as our president has said, we are here because of Horizon Europe program opportunities. That's why it comes our name of the event, Horizon4Poland. Why? If you look at this chart, in recent years, the budget of the EU framework programs is increasing this rapidly. The actual perspective, starting from 2021 till 2027, has almost 100 billion euro to be allocated to innovation and research projects. Unfortunately, as it was mentioned, the figure which is shown below, next to it, is presenting the level of Polish absorption of the Horizon Europe program, just as it is now. So, having 27 billion euro already spent, and that's why we want to change it, and this is a question which already has been posed by Mr. Andrzej Dybczyński, and actually the circumstances are also complex. Why? I'm not sure if everyone, not maybe everyone, but at least few people I have already noticed are together with us on the second matchmaking event, and probably you remember our previous keynote, Professor Marcin Piątkowski. He's the author of this book, Europe's Growth Champion, about Poland's circumstances of economic growth, starting from 1989 for 33 years, with GDP growing and catching up with the West. And he also emphasized one very important thing, that the potential we have gathered will be at least for the year 2030. He also mentioned 5 I's as a key solutions for us. among which innovation is one of the crucial. And as it already was explained, Łukasiewicz Research Network, basing and benefiting from its potential of 22 institutions, having in mind this economic potential of industry and industry factors, economic factors, we propose innovation through a bottom-up approach in building and supporting Polish entities in fighting, actually, and competing for Horizon Europe projects. We involve and welcome all the stakeholders, various stakeholders, not only institutes, not only universities, not only public institutions, but especially business and startups, to benefit, because it's a substantial budget we have, but also to contribute to the goals that were posed and are shared with us. That's the key of our activities are also strictly linked with European partnerships. We don't want to encourage you for this Horizon Europe program to stay alone. That's why we want to avoid the situation Bank had here. We are all here together to help you and to support together with our friends from national contact points. And to come to concrete, what industry contact points are providing. We are supporting we support Polish entities in preparing right proposal, preparing successful one, build successful consortium, international one, and also to leverage this risk which is connected with research and development projects. We would like to welcome you together with us to join the European partnerships, to join the groups of leading innovators in the European Union. And that's why we provide you with the very wide, comprehensive number of our skills and specializations. That's actually the names of the industry contact points and the areas on which you can count on us. And as it is always sung by the Premier League fans, you never walk alone together, because in Łukasiewicz we also are struggling for best projects. We are also having this experience we want to share with you on the project's management and on best business contacts that are essential for building international consortia. That's why we would like to welcome you and encourage to cooperation, closer cooperation, as I already mentioned, not only from the budgetary financial arguments, but also to reach the goals and the values we are all sharing. Thank you.
guests, I want to invite our another guest, Mr. Peter Dröll, Director of Prosperity, Directorate-General Research and Innovation at European Commission. He will give us the speech. Peter, are you here? Yep. The floor is yours. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello to all of you. There are so many very smart people, and I'm very grateful that you allow me to be connected because I can't travel these days, and share some thoughts about partnership as a new leadership and what this means for the Horizon Europe program and our strategic plan for the next years. And I quite like your approach for being modest and taking things as half empty, which reflects the right level of ambition we need for our European Union, our European project. And what a nice coincidence that Dominika quoted from this strategic foresight report from our Joint Research Center, which is my first slide, which is really spot on, because our ambition is to shape a better future. And in order to deliver on that, we need to consider different scenarios. And in the strategic foresight report, there are 4 scenarios. And they depend on what will be the main driver. Will it be governments? That would be the eco-states. Will it be business? Then it's green boom. Will it be local communities, initiatives that would be local eco-world, or, and that would be the least desirable scenario, would be driven by crisis. Whatever the main driver in these next steps will be, one thing is important. We need a couple of actions for transition, which are common to all scenarios. And by the way, this foresight report is a product of collective intelligence, is a product of partnering up, and also in that sense, part of a new leadership. So the 5 overarching recommendations, whatever scenario will be the dominating one, are need a new social for intergenerational fairness and for strengthening our democracies. That we do need public finance and tax systems to be redesigned to tackle the new challenges and pressures. And actually this recommendation, this foresight report, stems before the war in the Middle East. Thirdly, regions and cities are crucial. They have the appropriate means and understanding for transformation and for dealing with environmental issues. Fourthly, about new circular business models, where we still have a long way to go. And fifthly, industry is central to all of these transitions. Industry is a solution provider, an integrator, a technology integrator, and needs to also adapt to the reorganization of the global value chains. We have summarized that under the notion Industry 5.0. I've seen in the soundtrack here that the reference to Industry 4.0, a very important element of digitizing European industry. We think we need to go one step further in putting the ingenuity of the individual worker at the center, the human centricity of technologies, and deliver on the overall target of transition to sustainability. So that is from the scenario. And another element of context, which I would like to share with you, is our economic security strategy. We're living in a different world, and Dominika referred to that as well. And we're probably the first continent who just this summer has adopted its own security strategy under 3 principles: promote, protect, and partner. And that also resonates quite well with your logo for this matchmaking conference, and means that we should use all the tools we have to protect. We should use the strengths in the single market to promote and invest. But we, at the same time, need to continue to partner with trustworthy partners because we cannot do it alone. We cannot walk all of it alone. And in that overall transition, I think the EU has a very strong record on keeping track. We started with a Green Deal 4 years ago as a new EU growth strategy. Then came the pandemic, and we answered with a Recovery and Resilience Fund and doubled our efforts towards this green and digital transition. Then came the energy crisis due to the war against Ukraine, and we increased our ambition with the Repowering EU package. And then came another with inflation and the US reaction in the Inflation Reduction Act. And we answered with the Green Deal Industrial Plan for Europe and setting benchmark we want to do in terms of production in Europe of net zero technologies, which is so important for the twin transition. So the directionality is clear. That's also good for de-risking investments and for providing a strong basis for partnerships. So there are a lot of elements in these different acts which provide the regulatory framework. It's quite important that with this new generation of regulation, we pay great attention to creating the right investment environment by accelerating administrative procedures, by creating regulatory sandboxes, by creating spaces for risk-taking and innovation. It's embedded in all these acts, also in the Act on Artificial Intelligence, which is close to the final negotiation round. So as we enter the next phase of the European Green Deal, and that's a quote from the State of the Union speech of our President Ursula von der Leyen, the next phase of the Green Deal, we intend to put a lot of emphasis on the business model for the transition. And this is behind the objective of the transition dialogues, which are part of the industries of the European Union. And I would want to underline here one area for which we in DG Research and Innovation are directly responsible, and that's on advanced materials, which is just one of a key enabling technology as groundbreaking as the electricity, steam, or computing. Because with a new computing power, we can, on a molecular basis, atom basis, create new functionalities, new efficiencies, which are so critical for our energy transition, for our health transition, for the circularity. And we are working on, in partnership, by the way, on a new initiative for industrial leadership based on a very strong movement by the scientific and industrial community around a vision for materials 2030. And we will turn this into a fully fledged strategy at European level next spring. So let me come to the Horizon strategic plan. If you think public consultations are boring, I only partly agree. They are a form of engagement. They are a form of beginning partnership. And we take great pride actually in creating the means for co-creation, for collective analysis, also in the preparation of our strategic investment priorities. So this strategic plan is nothing else than a meta-analysis of the key trends resulting into overall priorities for our medium-term next investments. And the first strategic plan under Horizon Europe, our 7-year framework program, ends this year and next year in 2024. And we are preparing now, finalizing the strategic plan for 2025 to 2027. And here are two important novelties I would like to share with you, which are important also for your matchmaking and partnering events and discussions. First, so far, and it's still valid for the investments for 2024, we have 4 key strategic orientations, key objectives. And the text is, you see it here, it's quite bulky. But in short, it is open strategic autonomy. It is restoring ecosystems. Making Europe the first digitally enabled circular climate neutral continent, so sustainable economy in short, and creating a more resilient, inclusive and democratic society. So with the experience and the feedback from you, from stakeholders, we will simplify this into 3 overarching strategic objectives, which you see here: green transition, digital transition, and a more resilient, competitive, inclusive, and democratic Europe. And that is something which everyone who makes a bid, and I'm quite impressed by the increase in success rates. Congratulations for Łukasiewicz participants. Part of your success is if you have these overarching objectives in mind when making your proposals and partnering up. And the second simplification is related to simplification of impacts. Our program, and given the very fragile situation we're in, of course, we need to put the highest importance to getting results, having impact, is that we will also in the future work programs for the years 25 to 26 and 7, and with more accessible language and describing the impact itself you want to achieve, and not just the way to reach it, and to simplify it and limit it in terms of numbers. This is quite important because the competition, rightly, for funding is so high that you need to be really reading very carefully again every single sentence in the topic proposals, topic descriptions, in order to be successful. So let me try a conclusion here. Research and innovation is no longer a nice to have. It is central to our economic well-being. It's central to economic policy, central to prosperity. And with a very small share of our world population, we are doing very well when it comes to research outputs, in particular scientific publications, but also patents, much more than our average share in terms of population. And it's not bad if that share decreases due to good investments in other parts of the world. That's good. What is not, and that bottom left here on the slide, is our persistent underinvestment in research and innovation, mostly private underinvestment. We have to change this because my conviction, as I shared my conviction with you, is that it's no longer nice to have. Research and innovation investments are the key to a better future for us to succeed in the transition and transformation of our economies and societies. And one finding, which I think resonates quite well with your ambition here at this matchmaking event, is that we have limited not only international but also inter-regional collaboration in the EU. And I like events like yours so much with the ambition to partner up. And you speak from my heart when you say partner up with the public-private partnerships or all the partnerships under Horizon Europe, which are present here in an impressive way with great people, friends. And I think that is our best bet to increase the investments, to build stronger partnership and build a better future. And in these bleak times, and Adam referred to the weather, let me end with what I found is a very encouraging quote from Maria Skłodowska-Curie. She once said, "There's nothing to be feared, only to be understood. And now is a time to fear less and understand more." All the very best of success for your discussions and partnering events. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you for your speech. And now my great honor and very great pleasure to welcome the person whose actually name is well known, I think, to every Pole. He is a promoter of Polish science and innovation. He is also Digital EU Ambassador. Dear guests, welcome Mr. Maciej Kawecki. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you today. The subject of my presentation, it's the power of algorithms, the role of absolute power. I a little bit changed, to be honest. My presentation, when I look at the OpenAI company today and the dispute between Microsoft and Sam Altman, I think that it's very, very impactful. So mostly I will focus my presentation today on data and algorithm and the power of the Polish science in this area. But I would like to say that I based my lecture on my book, Internal Life of Algorithm, which will be premiere on February next year. The book in which I would like to answer the question of where we really stand today in the modern world. What does it mean that we are moving from the technological village to the technological jungle? What does it mean that we are moving from Homo sapiens to Homo technologicus or Homo technicus or Homo economicus? What does it mean that we are living in the technological era? And to be honest, when I was thinking about how to divide new technology or based on which criteria to talk about the new technology, at first I thought that the most accurate are technological trends, because trends are almost everywhere. We would like to predict the future. You would like to assign the trends, separate the trends, predict the trends. However, in the world of changing value, I came to the conclusion that it's not true. because what connect each other, what is constant today, unfortunately, it's not a technological trend or technological trends, but unfortunately, it's crisis. What connect each other is crisis, so that's why I decided to identify those that are the most durable, such as the climate crisis, crisis of relations, healthcare system crisis, crisis of resources, including air resources, and then I assign technology to each of them that try to solve such crises. But what connect all technology today are data, so that's why the first chapter named Dataism, because the data connect all technology today. And to be honest, I always knew that one of the technological revolution would belong to the Polish scientists, that Polish scientists would change the world of new technology, especially the world of the data processing. And my predictions came true when in November 2022, ChatGPT was introduced. I can ask you who among you use ChatGPT daily, every day. You can raise your hand. I'm sure that a lot of you, I see your hands, a lot of you use ChatGPT every day. But nobody knows abroad when I'm traveling around talking about the Polish science that this is the company created by the Polish scientist Wojciech Zaremba. That was the idea of Polish mind at the Warsaw University, and then he moved to the United States. To be honest, of course, ChatGPT and OpenAI has been operating since 2016, creating very smart language algorithms that provide knowledge worldwide. But the last one iteration of ChatGPT, and its upgrade since 2 weeks ago, was created by the team hosted by the Jakub Pachocki. It's the second Polish scientist from Warsaw University. To be honest, I've never expected how much impact ChatGPT has on our reality, not only as a tool for acquiring information, but also as our everyday assistants. But starting from the beginning, from 1951 to 1955, on the west coast of the United States, 2 computers was connected each other, creating internet. The first internet revolution lasted 50 years, starting from the time when 2 computers was connected each other, till time when internet became ambitious in our homes. The second internet revolution, from my point of view, it's 1981, when IBM introduced its first personal computer. The next one, that was the revolution of social media that changed our mind, how we approach the world. And now we are witnessing a new stage of new technology development, that changed the way we live, the way we approach the world, the way we run. And it's mostly, not only, but mostly because ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, has been developing since 1951, but till now has not been widely presented in our homes. And when we take a look at ChatGPT, what makes it popularity? From my point of view, the ability to create relations between the users. Conversation, the closest possible action of the humanity. Conversation. In the futuristic literature poems from 1961, 62, 63, we can find information that in 50 years we will live together with the humanoid forms. That's not true. We would like to love our mirror reflect, and this is the ChatGPT. So the question is, if such illusion of conversation can really ever replace the humans from the biological point of view. Trying to answer this question, it should be mentioned that the human brain that you see on my presentation is exceptionally complex, and it's impossible to reduce human brain to a simple mathematical formula. So it's impossible to create the algorithm that describe how the human brain works. So from the biological point of view, it's almost impossible. So artificial intelligence, despite of the growing computer power, despite of power of algorithm, artificial intelligence has still boundaries that cannot cross. But the biggest challenge and the biggest problem the scientists faced today, it's not the question if artificial intelligence ever replaced the human from the biological point of view, but this is the question of how is it possible that the tool created by the humans made a decision separately from the humans, and nobody knows how that decision was made. It's so-called a black box, or an internal part of AI, or illumination or hallucination. And this is the huge and the biggest challenge for the humanity today. In new technology development exists something we can call the Monroe Law. Monroe Law tried to answer the question how far away we can go. It's an empirical law based on the observation of factual state that the economically objective number of transistors in electronical devices grow twicely every 18 months, because transistors are almost everywhere. Electronical devices also are everywhere. We generalize this law to say that our new technology development grow twicely every 18 months, but also this law, this right, is unactual today. It's unactual because today the spaces between the transistors we calculate in atoms. We are going in the direction of so-called singularity, and the Polish scientists have a huge impact on this area, so-called singularity, when the knowledge of all computers, of the knowledge of one machine will surpass the knowledge of all humanity, as if combining all natural neurons in one supercomputer. I can call it omnipower AI or omnipotence AI. This is the biggest challenge of the humanity today. And it was the biggest part of artificial intelligence development that concerns something I can call fundamental AI. But next to the fundamental AI, we have a practice AI, when artificial intelligence solves the basic problem of the humanity. And I can present you some examples of such technologies. The first one, from my point of view, the most important. Yesterday evening, we had a meeting with the founder of this company, is the Polish company Biocam. It's the first world endoscopy capsules that is strictly connected with the artificial intelligence platform. Endoscopy capsules, it's in the size of the traditional diet supplement that you can swallow, and such endoscopy capsules take more than 74,000 photos of your digestive system. It's the telemedicine medical product, so taking more than 74 photos of your digestive system, the photos goes directly to the AI platforms using your mobile phone, because these small capsules includes the Bluetooth. And then neural network recognize the problem of your digestive system, and the doctor get directly only the photos that includes troubles with your digestive system. And this is the real power of algorithm, also including Polish point of view. The second, from my point of view, the most important Polish innovation, it's so-called Inuru. It's a great example of the cooperation of two startup ecosystems from Poland and for Germany, because that company is placed in Częstochowa and in Berlin. It's the first world light printing technology that create the screen as tiny as a sheet of paper and fully flex. 2 weeks ago, the first world game board with light printing screen as tiny as a sheet of paper was introduced by the biggest shop worldwide, Walmart, in the United States of America. The technology that you can place on your clothes or electronical devices, the cost of one screen is from $3 to $7, so it's incomparably cheaper than the existing technologies of light printing in Asia. That's why you can use it, for example, preparing all medical products, and includes emitters. That's the light printing technology that includes emitters. The last one innovation that was born in Poland, presented 1 month ago, first world levitating train. Polish scientist used something we can call the passive magnetic levitation, but the exception regarding to the existing technology on the Asia or United States is that this technology does not require any new train infrastructure. So you can use this technology to the existing trains worldwide, and the train reached 600 kilometers per hour. All of these innovations are connected by the artificial intelligence, digital twins technology that help us predict the future a little bit and creating such innovations. Summarizing my short speech, I would like to say that I fully agree that we are moving from Homo sapiens to the Homo economicus or Homo technicus, and we are changing also as a human race. But it would be great if in this development we could focus mostly on the first part of the sentence, the word homo. And that's my wishes for you from my lecture. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, the floor is open. You can ask me whatever you want. I will do what is my best to answer, of course. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can raise your hand, and I can answer for this question also being on the stage. So, okay, so I'm here in the private area, fully open. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maciej, for the very interesting talk. If you have any questions for Maciej, please meet with us in the coffee tables. And I want to invite another guest. I want to invite the Professor Daria Gołębiowska-Tataj. She is the chair of the Supervisory Board EIT Culture and Creativity and World Economic Forum digital leader with the talk Partnership is the New Leadership Network IQ. Daria?
Yes, hello. Good morning, everyone. Absolutely fascinated speech about artificial intelligence, and very timely as my concept of network intelligence takes yet another dimension now that generative AI is taking such a whole debate with over the last weekend, the corporate drama where Mr. Altman, the founder, the co-founder of OpenAI, the company that developed ChatGPT, was just fired by the board. And while we do not know really what happened, because there is no immediate reason, the narrative goes that the governance structure of the OpenAI was set up to prevent the misuse or intelligent use of AI as a potentially very dangerous tool for the future of humanity. And now we witness this debate right at the boardroom and the management, looking at, do we take over the commercial opportunity and technological advance to be at the forefront, or do we slow down and install firstly the global governance mechanisms as have been done for the climate change or other risks to our humanity. So very timely, I listened to with great interest on the presentation. And I would like to talk about this topic from a bigger perspective, as I work also with the European Commission on a number of policy initiatives. And I would like to start with the most recent publications on the artificial intelligence, and one on upcoming on the transformative education in times of polycrisis. This is the group of advisors. We work directly with the Directorate-General for Research and Innovation. And what we say is that we do live in times where crisis, what is the fashionable term polycrisis, is totally unmanageable by any single institution. And it can only be managed if there is a network of institutions, network of leaders, so institutional networks and leaders networks who collaborate and who develop this long-term perspective for what we call people, planet, and prosperity. And only when we look at the disconcerting, absolutely futile agreements leading to a climate neutral policies, to the carbon neutral business strategies, we realize what risk we face if if we are equally unable to reach the agreement on the AI. When the crisis started, the COVID crisis started, we published a number of briefs how policymakers, and when I say policymakers, I also mean public institutions such as Łukasiewicz Network, who is an operational arm of public policies and implementation arm of public policies. What should they do to really use the science, technology, innovation to, first of all, to protect the most vulnerable, then to prepare society, to build resilience into the society, and then to transform the systems. Now, what we discovered is that actually it all comes down and starts with education. And when I speak around the world, I'm always very, very proud to talk about Poland. And in my old report on the transformation of Polish economy, society, innovation ecosystem, I always emphasize that at the beginning of our success as a nation, as a society, is the fundamental transformation of our education system. And of course, we can question and we can debate. But the point is that 30 years ago, we were below the OECD average. And then today, we are one of the, according to the PISA results, one of the 3 or 4 best education systems in Europe, one of the top 10 in the world, leading or allowing around 400,000 graduates to enter the labor market every year. And again, while most people today learn on the job because the world is changing so fast that the education systems, the academia are not able to catch up, the point is that unless we manage to transform how research is being done and how universities educate young people, this will be extremely difficult to bring science closer to the markets, science closer to economy. And we claimed that Europe faces a triple imperative. so to protect, prepare, and transform, and its policy foundations, and then to build a better system forward to address the climate change and biodiversity collapse. We also said that while Europe cannot face these challenges alone, we should aspire to lead the global community. And I believe that what Łukasiewicz does with this conference, with the Conference for Polish Researchers Living Abroad, is really, really the right and the most effective strategy to reconnect Polish diaspora, to create programs, to bring them back, to create networking opportunity, to strengthen these ties. And I was fascinated to learn that it was a Polish researcher, Mr. Zaremba, who was one of the top brains developing the AI. What a wonderful, wonderful, cause to be proud. And then we claimed that Europe will all be able to achieve this if we strengthen internal cohesion and promote deep transformation of the economy and society. And the point is that we all know what to do. The challenge is how to do it. And based on our recommendations, we tested this along 4 very simple points. Number 1, dare to disrupt. We know that research environment, academic environments are not prone to disrupting themselves. Rather, the continuation is embedded in the system, and for good reasons. But we said part of your institutions should disrupt. Number 2, we claimed that universities should reform curricula and learning paradigms, educate for a very sustainable, responsible leaders who think and are able to develop projects across disciplines with a very strong core skills, lateral skills. Sometimes these skills are referred to as soft skills, but when we look at, for example, the World Economic Forum report, out of the top 10 skills for the future, only 2 actually refer to technology. Remaining 8 are directly linked to personal productivity, to creativity, to ability to manage stress, ability to lead, ability to be resilient in times of crisis. So all the skills that our universities and our research institutes are not really prepared to teach, are not rewarded to teach. And this is definitely not part of the mainstream curriculum. Then we said that universities should champion sustainability as institutions, so reducing their own carbon footprint, but also developing special programs and embedding sustainability as a way of thinking across all disciplines. We believe that the digital transition should be embedded, and what we witness today is a big bounce back for the pre-corona crisis models, where this online achievements of rapid digitalization of the teaching, learning, conducting research is being threatened. So we encourage that these new models of work, new models of building the teams is really embedded as part of the system. Then we talked about the strengthening strategic collaboration networks that universities should partner, should be at the aspire to be project leaders, not only project followers, especially universities from our part of the world. And then the project should be focused not that much on the 5-year degrees, but really on lifelong learning, on short courses, on peer-to-peer learning, on developing learning through collaboration with industry. And finally, we put a big focus on small and medium-sized enterprises, self-employed freelancers, as even before COVID, 40% of European workforce was employed on non-standard employment contracts. Now, this all translated into an interesting experimentation by the European Commission called Partnership for Regional Innovation. And I encourage you to look into the playbook, the partnership we published with the European Commission as the group of experts with Joint Research Center. It puts together a number of tools, how regions and how stakeholders in these regions, including research institutes in academia and businesses, countries can work together. One of the frameworks presented was the network intelligence, a framework that I developed and we've been championing with the University of Manchester for the last 5 years, starting from a very simple observation that the best and brightest alumni in Europe, the most entrepreneurial alumni in Europe coming from the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, KICS, do not have really the capacity to utilize the network that they have and utilize this ecosystem. And we developed a simple model based on pretty complex empirical research in different countries across Europe, Australia, and the US to come up with a model that would quickly equip those early career researchers, entrepreneurial master students, undergrads who do want to reach out beyond the academic bubble, fundraise, test their idea, reach out to early customers, pivot their business model if needed. It is called network intelligence, and it's based on basically developing a purpose network fit. So it helps people understand what is the purpose of your business. Of course, every business has the sustainability, economical sustainability model built in. There are fantastic frameworks for developing business model, for unleashing creativity. But what is really missing is understanding how to leave the coziness of your research lab or of your computer and reach out to the real world and understand who do you need to know and who needs to know you to be able to accelerate your innovative projects. So there's a whole framework. There are 7 skills and ability to assess and develop them. And we tested now with 5 different in 5 different countries through the Network IQ Alliance Consortium, where Łukasiewicz is one of our core partners. Now, the network intelligence shows best in practice, and I would like to speak about 3 really case studies. But the network intelligence is really your ability to build the weak ties, strong ties, and then be able to develop the community based on a sense of purpose. Weak ties are your trusted collaborators. Strong ties are your trusted collaborators. Weak ties are people whom you know vaguely, but who can give you access to opportunity, can be your only digital contacts. But while strong ties allow you to mobilize team for a project or projects, weak ties allow you to get access to very specific piece of knowledge that you need. And this sense of purpose really allows to bring a very different speed and at which you build the community. The combination of 7 skills ranges from network strategy, ability for e-networking, engagement, and empowered, so building these online communities, then digital communication, collaboration for diversity, which is building those strong ties, so translating the weak into strong, and finally the influence, so connecting with the influencers so that you can reprogram your network. And we also looked at why people utilize networks, and we discovered that the most powerful way are those buddies who utilize networks to share people, knowledge, technology, and really the most disruptive business models today are based on sharing. Then we have the agent, builder, and maven. The first one who's using networks to sell and market, the builder who's using the network to develop more complex solutions, and the maven who have this unique piece of knowledge and who are actually quite often marginalized from those diverse networks when collaboration is required. Now, when we look at the case studies that we developed together with the Massoud Entrepreneurship Center at the University of Manchester, this is one of the top entrepreneurship centers in Great Britain, Cherry, who is on the left-hand side, is a medical doctor, and she developed a concept for a technology for early lung cancer detection. And although the technology was innovative and non-invasive, she really struggled how to get to test this in real world, how to build partnerships with universities. Through our program, she ended up having partnerships with 4 hospitals in 3 different continents. And she believed that building this ability to have a rapport with the decision makers in hospitals was really key for her to become a reliable partner so that the hospital could take risk to really start the clinical trials. Mohammed in the middle is a biotech entrepreneur. He developed the technology for accelerated artificial protein production. And his idea was that the business would be really to provide other laboratories with this method so that they can experiment faster. Thanks to our program on network intelligence with Masood Entrepreneurship Center, he not only raised over $1 million, I believe now over 2 million euro, but he also pivoted the business model. We simply taught him how to operate in a digital world, to prepare for online events, to build his own visibility, the visibility of his company as an innovative biotech startup, and then reach out to the speakers and influencers and build the rapport before meeting online. And his success was absolutely tremendous. The last photo is about bringing people from academia to the technology. A young intern who went through the program with University of Manchester really dared to step into the technology world and turn the internship she had into becoming a manager in a local technology company. Now, you can say that it's all about whom you know, not what you know. And while this trivial stereotype can be challenged, I believe that we all have experiences that unless you're connected to super connectors who have a high network worth and are well connected locally and globally, it will be very difficult for you to accelerate your project. One of our super connectors was Beata Stelmach, whom you know well. She is today the non-executive director at Millennium Bank, but she formerly was the CEO of Leonardo Helicopters and the GE and Central and Eastern Europe. So I do believe that network intelligence really matters, especially in times of artificial intelligence. We know that technology has always been an accelerator and enabler of human competences and human potential and human mindset. And this is so important that in times of artificial intelligence, we invest in people to help them understand how to tap on the potential of their networks using digital tools, but doing it with a humanity heads. Thank you very much. I'll be delighted to connect with you on LinkedIn and happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Daria. I must admit that Łukasiewicz is actually the partner of the project, which Daria was mentioning. I personally experienced her training, so I do recommend this network intelligence. Great work. Thank you very much, Daria, for sharing your experience and thoughts. Thank you. And now, a bit changing the aspects of partnership and moving towards the inclusive architecture. And let me invite the next guest, the next keynote speaker. She is the promoter of New European Bauhaus in Poland. Welcome, Professor Anna Maria Wierzbicka from the Warsaw Technical University. Tak. Prezentacja. Pani profesor.
Hello, my name is Anna Maria Wierzbicka. I am a professor at the Warsaw University of Technology, and my team, I was a leader, but without my team I couldn't do that. I won an award for a New European Bauhaus, because most of you here are involved in the businesses, but everybody is living somewhere. We are in the beautiful building in Norblin, which before was a factory, you probably know. So the architecture involves all of us. That's why it's so important. And in 2019, Ursula von der Leyen found a New European Bauhaus initiative to change our city, to be beautiful, sustainable, and together. And this initiative want to change the world because, of course, we saw other speeches talk about the climate change. Our city are getting bigger every day, and the people want to live in the city. But living in the city is really getting hard. And this initiative is in a very different level, basically from the level of the normal human being. So everyone can be involved in this initiative, but it's always it includes architects as well. So at the beginning of the war, when the war started in Ukraine, architects are the people who want to change the world. They're like visionaries. And because I am working in the Faculty of Architecture and we are, of course, don't have lots of funding, we thought to make some idea to change the problem of refugee inside the Ukraine. So we started to make a team. And what was important, we invited Yuri Krivoruchko, who was a professor from Ukraine, to talk what to do with so many refugees. And we made a team with my colleagues, Paweł Trębacz, Renata Jóźwik, and Magdalena Duda. And then it appeared on Łukasiewicz page, there is a new European Bauhaus scholarship grant. And we got this grant as one of the team in Poland this year. And it was a big opportunity for us to improve our project and what to do. What we can do, we can make a research, we can make documentary, we make interdisciplinary team, we make research inside the Ukraine to understand the need of the people. Because sometimes we think we know, but we doesn't know. We as well use artificial intelligence. We make participation of the people. So we ask Ukraine, inside the Ukraine and inside the Poland, what is their way of living. It was important because the way what we discover and what was very important that we have to add to beautiful, sustainable and together safetiness. And this is not only the war matter. I think everyone travel everywhere. And sometimes when we go to the city, we don't really feel safe. And safetiness, this is the basic of our need. If we need safe, we need that we are in home. So we develop our project in 3 different levels, beautiful, sustainable, together, and to make it from the wide point of view to the basic. We make some cooperation with the company Unihouse. We went to the factory, we learn how they make the prefabrication system, and we made the system. What was our discovery? You say it's nothing more specific to make this kind of system for the house, which was better in our idea because you make the prefabrication in the factory. So the product is really finished there. So you bring the product to the construction site, you have a quicker and a better quality. But when we were talking with our Ukrainian friends for half of the year, we understand that if you feel safe, you have to know that if anything happens, you have to go to the panic room. And in the beginning of the project, I don't have this picture because it's little time to share my idea with you. We make it in the cellar. But our Ukrainian friends say, no, it won't work because if you have an alarm of a bomb attack, like 3 times a day, you won't go there anymore because you get used to it. So we designed, here's a little picture, the shelter, this is our patent, in the bathroom. Because we ask people, what do you really need in home? Of course, you need bed, you need kitchen, but without a bed, you can live. Without a kitchen, you can eat not hot food. But without a toilet in 1 week, you will really suffer. So we thought the most necessary is toilet and the water, and we make here the escape room. And then we talk with our architects friends, what will happen when the building collapses, yes? And the second biggest problem is because you can't design a building as a bunker. It's impossible to put such amount of concrete because of the carbon footprint and the cost. It's taking the people from the building. Now we know the war of Israel and Palestine, the people are really trapped in the building. So we make this panic room a chimney. We got it from Warsaw experience during the Polish War Rise Up. So the people in the extreme situation can escape to the chimney inside the house, yeah? We finished the project because it was really very short. It was not a lot of money, but it gave us opportunity to think wider as in the project, not in the only architectural way, but in the social way, in the psychological way, in the design way. We established the Center of Supporting Ukraine and Faculty of Architecture. Our dean gave us the permission. And we signed a letter of cooperation with Mayor of Lviv. What was important is that we designed our house in the plot which was really existing. It was not somewhere on the moon, but environment was real. So in this way, we can really make the product which is put in the special plot, put to the people who have special needs. Of course, this is just idea, and we are looking for more money to develop our project. The project was finished, but we really, and what was thought before my speech, talking with my team in the Faculty of Architecture is bigger, it's only 30 people, so we make the smaller group, but we always exchange knowledge. I think the coffee break are more important in this kind of conference. And after all, we thought that the voice of young people is still important, because I am responsible for a specialization which is called a technological instructor in Warsaw University of Technology. On the master degree, the student develop two of the building, the kindergarten and the bazaar in this urban plan, which we developed before. And all of the projects, of course, I don't have a time to speak, so if anyone is interested, please come to me. It's in a prefabrication system. The fabrication is the future of architecture, I think. Of course, it's quite expensive nowadays. And we mostly use wood. Of course, there is some here, we don't use a concrete prefabrication, but the possibility of the project make us think that this system can work quite good. We went to Berlin for European Bauhaus to present our project. We even visit ministry. The topic in this newspaper is failed because it's not Wielka Płyta. Wielka Płyta, this is the prefabrication system made out of concrete. We make a wooden prefabrication system, so some of the journalists don't really understand, but it's like that. And we thought our idea is really connecting with the nature, is retaining the belonging. It's providing all the necessary issue of new European Bauhaus idea for sustainable, beautiful architecture. Then, because we work with the young people, with the student, this is really extreme. I think if you work with the young people, you always understand that you can stay where you are. And there was speech about artificial intelligence. If anybody have a child, he knows that nobody uses Facebook anymore. Maybe my generation, they use Instagram. So our students say, if you want to sell and tell anybody whatever you do, you have to make an Instagram. So we make some idea, it was my idea, to design a pavilion, freedom. We stand for Ukraine, we stand for freedom, because after 1 year, some people really don't want to think about the hard time. So we got the money from different company, Deloitte, Hilti, Warburg, little bit of funding, and then we make a collaboration with Royal Bath Garden to put our pavilion in the Royal Bath Garden. We had no money at the beginning, really. And 1 week ago, we put this project to an European Bauhaus Award because it shows all the main idea of European Bauhaus, beautiful, sustainable together. If you can see, the structure is made out of wood, designed by professionals, by us and a student, 18 girls and 2 boys, and built by ourselves. And it was a really pleasure for us to teach young people how to design a beautiful, sustainable architecture, because young people are the future, and they will build this world in the sum of the years. Because we don't have a lot of money, sometimes we use our artificial intelligence, and we apply for the education program for European Bauhaus. We didn't get it, but we have to make a movie. We are not a professional movie maker, we are architects, but we say architects have to do everything what they wanted. So we made a movie, and at the end I will show you the movie. Sorry for the speaker because it was bot speaking. We didn't have any money to do it. We did it by ourselves. And we made the conference Architecture of Challenges, Rebuilding Ukraine in the Royal Bath Garden. You can see it. We started at the beginning from no funding, no money. And in 3 months we got everything to join the people. And what was most important for me, for us, that we could bring here the Ukraine architects who can tell us what they really need, not we speak for themselves. And this year, next year, we are organizing the second conference. It will take place in June, 17-18. It's a little bit commercial, and it's called Architecture of Challenge and the Material for the Future. Not the future material, but material for the future. Because we think that the material for the future is a material which are sustainable, natural, and we will build another pavilion which will be made from the mushroom brick. I think everybody heard about it. Now we are collaborating with you, Łukasiewicz. We make some agreement with them to make us the brick. We are designing the place to show that sustainable can be used in the architecture. So on the end, the short movie. Sorry for this bot. Sometimes we use it. I think the artificial intelligence is the future. Maybe not in all the solving problem in architecture, but we use this. Our student will use it. Our children will use it as well. But the thing about the artificial intelligence, it's that it will never ask a question, and human being always asking a question. So I hope everyone in this room are always asking the question and looking for the answer. This is the movie. I will go from the
Faculty of Architecture at the Warsaw University of Technology and the Academy of Fine Arts in Warsaw, as well as the Faculty of Architecture at the Valencia University of Technology, are embracing the new European Bauhaus initiative. This initiative invites us all to envision and construct a sustainable and inclusive future that is aesthetically pleasing and fulfilling.
This is a join of 3 different levels of cultural heritage. We are from the Faculty of Architecture, and we teach young people how to design a new, sustainable, beautiful architecture.
The program aims to incorporate a modern and integrated approach to architectural education within the master's degree program at the Faculty of Architecture.
We can think about the areas which are work as one functional unit. And finally, it's not changed the world so much that our grandchildren will be living in the same beautiful world.
It addresses architectural and related fields, with a focus on studying wood technology in construction, merging tradition with modern technological solutions.
This semester we are having the classes in the project-based learning formula. We are going to design and later construct the summer pavilion in the Royal Baths Park in Warsaw.
The program adopts a multi-level thinking approach to foster creative solutions in architectural design, drawing inspiration from the principles of the new European Bauhaus initiatives. It integrates the values of beauty, sustainability, and togetherness while considering different design scales, from urban complexes to individual buildings, equipment, and material design, encompassing macro, meso, and micro design.
Our designs are always sustainable. We try to use natural materials and we try to focus on the building process and the prefabrication process as much as possible.
An integral part of the learning process is the careful utilization of cultural heritage elements that contribute to the meaningful fabric of a place and a building. Wood can be used in construction as a structural element, a finish, furnishing, and a design component. Its most notable attribute, however, is its renewability, making it a sustainable resource.
Timber, in many cases, is the future of modern material in the construction and architecture design.
Thank you very much, Professor Wierzbicka, for a very interesting talk about the architecture, about the new European Bauhaus, especially while we are having this conference in such interesting place as this. And that's why I want to invite our last guest, Ms. Kinga Nowakowska, board member and COO of the Capital Park Group, and she will tell us a little bit about the new life of Northern faculty.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm the board member of Capital Park Group, the owner of this place, and I was responsible for many years for revitalization of this old factory. So the challenge of today is to tell you the story about this revitalization, how we did it in 13 years, and I try to do it my best to present to you. So. Short history, we bought the plot in 2008 and it's exactly how the factory was looking, and as you can see the roof collapsed. It was a very old factory closed for over 30 years and the place was almost closed for people, for public. It becomes dangerous. Many of those buildings was dangerous and people couldn't be there. We started the design in 2011 with PRC Architekci. It's an English office of architects presented in Poland. In 2012, we get a positive decision of monument conservator. We prepared hundreds of expertise about everything, about almost each brick, but also about windows, about wood, everything, and we try to keep as much artifacts as we could. So building permit, this is for example BioBazaar. So now you can go to see BioBazaar, it looks quite different. But this is BioBazaar hall and we get building permit in 2014. And the construction starts in 2017. So as you can see, many years of work, many years of negotiation with conservator, but also with families of Norblin and Werner, and also we try to convince all the lovers of monuments, because in Warsaw was almost completely demolished, so there is a lot of emotions, and they start to trust us. So the condition to get building permit was that we of course keep all the building register as monuments. We have 9 of them here, but also 15 machines, and we was asked to establish a museum of this incredible factory. So now one of challenge, I think this is the movie, so how I can do it, I press again, starts. How we move one of the building to do the parking, we was forced to move this old building for 16 meters, then to the parking and come back. So you can see, it's really 24 hours. We get a lot of students, architecture students coming there and see, because it was really impressive. As you can see, the building was in a very bad condition, so it was really challenging to. Now it's Bocca restaurant. No, this is Paradiso. So if you want to see how it looks today, it's Paradiso. Yeah. So, sorry. One more time. Okay. So in 2021, we get an occupancy permit, and we opened this place for public finally. Okay. We have, I think today it's really a hot spot of Warsaw, a landmark. We have a lot of awards we are very proud of, and maybe a few words about, this is also another movie for you, how today looks Norblin. It's 240 years of history of this factory, but really famous. Very art box. And our museum. We organize the guides. You can see the factory with the special guides. They are dressed like used to was dressed Norblin and Werner. So it's a nice spot. Yeah. A lot of activities for kids for free also. And of course, Smart Kids Planet, very famous place also for youngs. This is our underground parking for bicycles. It costs almost, I almost lost my job for that. But yeah, it's 96 places for bicycles, and now we try to teach everyone how to use it. It's for free, and it's fantastic because they go underground, and you can leave your bicycle with your bag, and it's very useful, but not easy to understand because it's unique in Poland. Yes, so now a few words about circular economy, how we did it here, how it was implemented. So, of course, 9 historical buildings and 15 machines renovated and implemented across the plot. We bought also a collection of silverware from a collectioner, so you can see from different epochs of work of this factory. 38 artifacts, which you can see all over the place. We save as much as we could, so even the old lamps or a lot of different details you can find in this place. We also reuse the troilers, I will show you later, and of course we establish our museum. So this is the old buildings, how we renovate them. You can see the detail, of course. This is, we go back to the best time of the factory, because the factory was almost completely destroyed during the war and rebuilt by the workers very fast and just temporary. So now we come back to the really the best moment of the factory. You have our museum, and you can follow different paths: history of people who run the factory, history of architecture, machines, and products. And I really encourage you, because it's a huge experience to discover this story. This is our collection of silverware, which you can also see different design, different periods of design. We use all doors, and we give it to the artists in Academy of Art, and they did some artworks they did for us, and you can visit and see them on the parking on -2. And as I said, we use the Troilers, and with a design School of Polish Design, they prepare different use of the Troilers. We use it as a benches, and you have 3 different materials. One group did with wood, one with metal, and one with concrete. You can see them also all over here. And sustainability. Can the old factory become suddenly green? So it was, of course, a challenge for us. The historical building has finally BREEAM, very good, but new offices is excellent BREEAM. We planted over 100 trees. I will tell you, you can see our terrace on the roof, but also on the street you have over 100 trees. We also use the panels. Those panels produce 10% of our electricity consumption for the common area. So it's a lot. Even if it's just 10%, we are very proud of that. And this is our underground parking for bicycles, which you saw on the movie. And of course, Dena. It's an inclusive place. When we start the construction, our president tells us it has to be for everyone. And I tell him nothing is for everyone. But finally, it's what we arrive to achieve. Norblin is really a place for everyone. So the lovers of history and kids and adults, as you can see our guides, you can visit our museum. We have also place for artists. You have a very nice mural of Edward Dwórnik. I have this table in my kitchen, so you can see it on the wall. And also Pola Dwórnik did her work for an announcement of the museum. And Tytus Brzozowski, another variation about Norblin factory. You can see it on parking on -2. Then, of course, we have a lot of activities during the weekend, really for free, open to anyone. So we have our foundation organize the concert almost every Saturday and every Sunday. We have also this is flamenco show, all circus show. So we organize a lot of events for everyone, and everyone is welcome. This is a factory for children. You can see our activities also here. Okay, so it's about Norblin factory.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Kinga Nowakowska. And actually, I wanted to mention that for you, for our guests, we have at 6 p.m.
6:30.
6 p.m. we have guided tours for our guests of Horizon4Poland. So we hope it will attract you, and you will have opportunity to see Norblin by yourself, exploring all those artifacts and beautiful places. And after that at
9:30.
7:30. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
7:30 we have networking and cocktail this evening. This is just a short reminding before inviting you to our lunch. Yeah. And creme de la creme. The second day, we just want to use this opportunity that we are still on the stage, to encourage you to stay together with us on the second day of the event, because tomorrow you have a pitching session with we are starting with, and then to take this opportunity and build business contacts and build new projects.
And now we are inviting you for a short lunch, 1 hour.
Yes.
And after this, we are inviting you for the breakout sessions. They will start at 2 p.m. So.
Yes, exactly. So before, let us guide you to the cinema hall where the 7 breakout sessions will start. So thank you very much for your attention, and thank you for having me here.